Okay, let's get into this practice. So, finding your comfortable seat if you can, with the back away from the chair. If you want to have a more upright, but it would just feel best to have something, just have a pillow, and I think I might keep that there right now because it feels nice. So you have a little bit of low back support, but you can still be in that upright position. Because again, if you're kind of reclined, it makes it harder for your diaphragm to move and to have that full breath. All right, feet are on some surface. Might it not be the floor, that they are connected with something, a book perhaps. And we'll start that mindful movement with our breath. Lift the shoulders up towards the ears, rolling them back and down. And always moving with a practice of non-violence to ourselves and a sense of contentment, so never having to do too much. If you want a few more, you're welcome to continue. If you're ready to settle in, let's just drop those shoulders away from the ears. Ears rising, crown of the head lifting. And that crown being here, sometimes I think people maybe think it's the forehead, but the crown. So you were wearing a crown. From the ground support, you're going to feel maybe your toes. Wiggle your toes. And then connect through your big toe, your smaller toes, your heel. From there, we're going to rise up through that, creating length through each part of your spine. The chin just resting in a little bit downward. So just because you lift the chin doesn't make you taller. Eyes are open or closed, whatever helps you to tune in and tune out. Right, let's pick up on some other senses. Can you maybe notice the sounds from outside of your space? Without straining, just notice. And turn that awareness to the sounds inside your space if there are any. Moving that awareness to the sensation of the air flowing in and out the tips of the nostrils. Notice the temperature. Can you feel it drifting to the back of the throat on the way in? And the temperature as it drifts out towards your upper lip. Little ways you can find mindfulness throughout the day. Some things we might miss if we weren't paying attention. All right. Place right hand over belly, left hand over heart space. Want to connect to that heart, but also to connect to our breath. So the next time you breathe in, can you feel the belly expanding a little bit to that lower hand? And as you breathe out, it floats back towards your center. Breathing with that awareness. The top hand is called soft or not moving. It's silent. You might feel it moving a little bit. If you didn't, I would be surprised. So breathing in, slow and steady. Doesn't have to be big. Two more cycles of awareness here. Breaths are a little bit longer. Let's let that hands rest down and just notice how that makes you feel, so that if you like how it makes you feel, you could use that practice later. All right, let's pause for intention. So either palms are together or they stay in your lap, wherever you feel authentic. How are you going to show up today towards yourself, towards those around you, or towards this planet that we're all on together? If the palms are not already together, let's meet there in the center. Spread those fingers as wide as they can go, thumbs towards your heart. And as you press the palms together, can you feel that lift that gives you? All right, we're going to shoot the fingertips forward. And if it feels okay to turn the palms outward, do so. But if not, just don't flip them. And then we're going to flip the palms back up to lift up towards the sky in breath. Palms meet without looking, and then meet back in the center. 2 more. Rising. Back to center. 1 more. Every time the palms come together, there's a little bit of pressure there. All right, be back in the center, a little bit of pressure, full breath in and out. All right, we'll clasp those hands, let go of that effort in the shoulders, and we're just gonna swim it through figure 8. And moving those wrists through that flexion extension as much as they feel comfortable. All right, we're gonna pause when we get back to the center and head the other direction. All right, come to pause. I'm gonna keep the hands clasped, send them outward, around the shoulders, let the head drop. If it feels okay, flip the hands outward and rise up in breath. From there, we're going to separate the hands and come out to cactus arms. Slowly, shoulder blades draw together. Nice, that's it. I know, slow, slow, slow. Come back together, clasp. I'm going to switch one finger over just to make it confusing for me. You could try the same. We're going to head out again, exhale. Flip and rise, inhale. Exhale, cactus arms. Last one. Flip to rise. Exhale, cactus. All right, we'll come back to center. Make any little adjustments. Oh, where are we going next? Let's start with our head motion. So bring the right hand to the heart space. Left hand can just be on your thigh. Swim that arm open, gaze right. Slide it back across the chest, gaze left. This might be one breath, maybe an inhale or an exhale. I'm not gonna make you choose. And then the opposite on the way back. Next time we span out, hold it there, soften the shoulder a little bit, take hold of the left side of the chair, and we'll start to reach that right arm up and over. Maybe take the gaze down towards the left. You always have the option to keep that right hand down. Attempt to press my right sit bone down towards my seat to get a little bit more stretch. One more breath. And exhale, we'll come back up to center. All right, we got another side to go. So left hand towards the chest. Inhale, open, gaze left. Exhale, we slide back across, gaze right. Same thing. Take a breath. Next breath sends you over to the right. The last one out, we hold it. Take the right hand to the right side of the chair, and we're sending that left arm up and over. Gazing down to the right. Keep your left sit bone grounded, and you can always drop that hand to your left hip if that feels better. One more breath, we'll get a little bit more space. Exhale, meet me back in the center. Make any little adjustments. I'm going to scoot a little bit forward for our hula, so I have a little more space for my hips to move. So you might want to do the same if it's available to you. All right. We're going to head over to the right sit bone, forward towards what we call your pubic bone, or the front of your hips, over to your left sit bone, and then back towards your tailbone. And then continue in that circle. So those are just landmarks. You certainly don't have to hit them all. And we'll start to make it a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller, and a little smaller until we come back to center. And then we're going to head the other side. Left, forward, right, back. And I'm keeping it a little bit smaller. I'm just trying to get into my hips a little bit more, my low back, but you're welcome to make it a little bit bigger and broader if you want. And then we'll start to make it a little smaller and a little smaller and a little smaller until we come back to center. All right. I'm forgetting something. Maybe we'll do one more, just a seated cat and cow, just a traditional cat and cow. So you're going to tuck the tailbone, round into the upper back, let the shoulders round the head drop, and maybe the hands slide forward on your thighs. And then we'll flip the palms up, slide them back across your thighs as we reverse the motion. Chest rising, maybe chin lifting. 2 more times on your own rhythm. Back in the center. Let's take our straps if you've got them. And of course you can always go without. You might be using belts, ties, dog leashes, cat leashes. You know, some folks that walk their cat. It's a wild cat. Okay, let's take the right leg out. So that one's going to be your strapped straight leg. And then the other leg is also out, but just bent. We're going to go into our sunrise, sunset. So let's sit up tall first, and then we'll hinge off to that side. I'm still long through the spine though. Take the left hand down towards the right. Start to span across the sky, sunrise. And sunset. Flip the palm up and draw the shoulder back, as well as the elbow. Send it through, and we'll start again. You got it. If the shoulder is achy, I'm just going to show a different version where it just comes from the elbow and it's a smaller motion. Smaller does not mean lesser, it's just different. All right, next time we pull out to that bow and arrow, you're going to extend that arm out. Still got a trick shoulder going on. I'm going to bend that elbow a little bit, and you're going to cup the palm like you're holding on to something precious. Gaze out towards the left. One more breath. And then we're going to exhale, rise up. Shouldn't be so tired after that. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So you're either using the strap and stretching out that leg, or just stretching out the leg. All right, here we go. Sitting up tall, same thing on the other side. We'll hinge off towards that left. And right hand down towards the left, and we'll start our sunrise, sunset. Sweep across the sky, gaze right. Sweep across the sky, gaze left. Flip the palm, bow and arrow, cock it back. Send it through. 2 more. Always know you can take the shorter arm version if that feels better for your shoulder. And then we'll flip the palm, take it back, and extend that arm. Bend the elbow a little bit, cup the hand, and now you're gazing out to the right. more breath. Exhale, like somebody's helping you back up. Swing that leg back in. I think we'll let go of the strap for the moment. And before we go into our warrior, let's get a little bit of our core work in. Not that this is all a little bit of core work. So we're gonna sit up tall. You're gonna start to extend one leg out and the opposite arm. And then we come back to center. And now you could keep one foot on the floor at all times and just kind of slide it along and keep that one leg grounded. You're still working your core, it's just different. Keep going. I'm just going to show you from the side what's happening in my back, that it's not grounding. Very slow marching. I'm going to do one more to each side. All right, great. Make any little adjustments. Oh, meet in warrior two with our legs. Let's go right leg out. Right leg straight. Wait, right leg straight. Get my mind here. Right leg straight. Left leg bent. Meet here in the center. Let's send the palms forward just like we did earlier. We're going to slide along our glassy pond. Trickle it. Gaze out to the left. Rise up, greet the sky. Maybe the palms touch. Palms back down, gaze left. Trickle across the pond. Meet back in the center. A little bit of pressure of those palms. It's a really nice isometric way to strengthen some of your shoulder muscles. All right, two more. Flip the palms, rise up. Maybe the palms touch, maybe they don't. Flip them, come back down, warrior two, gaze left. Trickle across. Back together. Thanks. This next time around, we're going to hold in warrior two. I'm going to invite you to flip the palms up. Bend the elbows a little bit so the shoulders drop out, and then you're going to hold on to that something very precious in your palms. And gazing out towards that left palm. And so you were admiring whatever's in your hand. We'll flip the back palm down and start to bring that left arm towards the sky. You may get more about the upper body and a little bit in the low back. It won't stress the shoulder quite as much. I'm speaking from experience. You can always have that elbow bent and reach through the fingertips. One more breath. Exhale, we're back up into warrior two, reaching those arms out, gazing left. Flip the palms. We'll trickle back across. And palms together. All right. Make any little adjustments. Bring that right leg back in. All right. And we're off to the other side. Left leg straight, right leg bent. We'll meet here in the middle. Good. A little bit of pressure so we can work some of those muscles. All right. Then we're going to send it forward. Same thing, the same side or other side. Gazing right. Flip the palms, lift it up. Back down. Trickle across. Palms meet. Again, full one until we meet that last hold. Flip the palms, rise up. Flip them back, reaching. Trickle across. Back to the center. Okay. Last one, we're gonna hold it here in warrior two. Flip the palms, drop the shoulders, cup those hands, and gaze out towards that right hand this time. Still lifting up through from sit bones, from the ground, through our sit bones. All right, flip the back palm, take it down, the back leg, and start to reach that right arm skyward. You decide when you stop. One more breath. Lower those arms back to warrior two, palms lifted. Flip the palms down, trickle back across. Palms meet, a little bit of pressure here, that isometric hold. Full breath in and out. All right, help those legs back in. Make any little adjustments. We'll meet in mountain pose, seated mountain pose. Let's bring the palms face up on your thighs. You're gonna press down those arms or the hands into your thighs. Not enough to let your shoulders round forward, but actually draw your shoulders back. Just an isometric hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Roll it out. We're going to do one more. Nice way to work some of these back muscles, your left lats, that kind of help you get up from a chair if you need it. Okay. Press those backs of the hands down towards your thighs, shoulders back. Keep breathing. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, great. Whew. I'm going to make a transition to standing if you are able to or would like to. You can always remain seated. So I will scooch forward towards the front of the seat. Feet are going to tuck underneath me a little bit. I'm going to lean forward, draw the chin in, and exhale, start to rise up. Slowly making your way there, please, if you're joining us. And I'm going to take my stance behind the chair. You don't have to if you're not using it. Okay, we're going to take a wide stance. You're either seated or standing, taking a wide stance with your legs. And we're going to go into our starfish. Arms reaching, and if holding onto the chair would feel best, you can do that, but being at home, you can have a wall behind you, so just position yourself if you want to practice this. We're going to rise up, in breath, lift the chest, out breath, roll back down. The range comes from the entire arm rotating, not just the forearms. Exhale. Last one. Flip the arms back down. I'm going to take hold of the chair with my right hand and flip that left arm up. And coming back down, take hold of the chair with the left hand, reach the right arm up. Becomes our seaweed. We'll just go one more to each side. Your heel toe, or bring those legs right back underneath your hips, or if you're seated, your knees. All right, we're going to practice our heel toe lift. So I'll just turn the chair away since I'm going to go there anyway, but you can stay right where you are. We're going to lift up onto the toes, so even if you're in sitting, you're going to go onto your toes. And then if you can, go back to your heels. Be careful with this one if you're in standing, that you do not bring the chair with you. Heel to toe. If you can do this without holding on, you're welcome to, or maybe just have one finger hold. If this hurts your toes, like the big toe at all, just go towards your toes, don't lift. Just 20 more. Just kidding. 2 more. Very meditative. Well, maybe it's just the music. I could keep going, but we won't. Let's come to a stop. Shake out those toes. And we're gonna come into a mountain pose. So either seated or standing, feet about hip width apart. I'm gonna ask you to pick up your toes wherever they might be, spread them as wide as they can go, and then set your pinky down, and then start to drag the other toes towards the center. So you've got balance in your big toe, your outer toe, and your heel. All right, we're gonna go through that flow of poses, rising up, either holding onto the chair or not, meaning with one hand. And we're gonna sit back into chair pose. So even if you're in seated, you're just going through these same motions, kind of leaning forward. Breath in, breath out, we rise up. Inhale and exhale. Okay. Come a little off camera there. Again, I'm gonna show holding on with the chair if you'd like to stay there. In breath, out breath. In breath, out breath. In breath at the top and exhale to release. If you're holding on, you're just switching hands between sides. Inhale, exhale to rise. Inhale at the top, exhale to come back. Last one. In breath, out breath to rise. Exhale to release. All right, make any little adjustments we're gonna need in mountain pose, a very active mountain pose. If you were in a door jam, your legs are gonna press out to that door jam, your arms are gonna press out to that door jam with your fingers reaching. Very active. All right, it's a really simple pose to do. You can feel that work your outer thighs. Really, really simple pose to do to activate and strengthen those outer thighs. Okay. Let's take your right foot forward here in coming into our warrior pose. So sorry, the chair's on the right side of you. Ding. Forgot we weren't there. So if you're using the chair, it's on the right side of you. And if you're in seated, you're just offsetting your legs one in front of the other. Here we go. Warrior one, rising in breath and out breath. Letting go of the chair, reaching both arms at the same time feels okay. Give it a try. I'm going to hold back onto the chair and challenge my balance by taking my gaze upward as I lift up. And taking my gaze downward as I drop back down. If that feels steady holding on, you can certainly try and let go and do the same. Feels challenging enough to do this without the head moving? Don't do it. Not today. All right, this last time up, we're gonna hold it here. Soften the arms a little bit. You can always be holding on. Add a mudra if you like. You can even bend into the elbows and reach from here. It doesn't really matter. Where I'm going. Trying to get my left arm up there. Steady breath, feel your back heel, front big toe. All right, let those arms slow down if they're not already. We'll come back to center and step it back in. Let's find that very active mountain pose where thighs are pressing out, arms are reaching out. Whew. All right, let's take your looking at me like, what are you doing? All right, let's take your right foot towards the chair, or if you're in seated, your right leg is going to be your bent leg, your left leg is going to be your straight leg. Actually, that goes for all of us, standing or seated. Okay, bend in. Reach back with the left arm. Reach forward with the right arm, or keep holding the chair. Your choice. If your gaze is towards the camera, you can slowly start to take it out towards your right hand. And we're going to do that shift where we shift forward a little bit, like you're trying to grab something off the shelf. And then you're going to come back to center. 2 more times. Always drop those arms a little bit if they're feeling heavy. All right, we're back to center. Let's release the arms, give them a little break, straighten the front leg. Make any little adjustments, but we're here for 2 more poses. All right, let's bend that front knee. I like to buttress it up against the chair. It's a nice little plant for it. And you're gonna, let's see, if you can, put your hands on your hips and try to pull your hips down. You can see my spine get a little bit longer. And then rest that front arm either on the chair or your thigh if you're seated. Left hand goes to the lower right belly. You're going to sweep that rib cage open towards the left and extend that left arm out. You can certainly be with elbow bent and reach through the fingertips, or just rest the arm completely. Two more breaths here if you're still with me. And rest that left arm back down. You're going to use that chair and exhale your way back up. Oh, make any little adjustments. We got 1 more here. All right, triangle pose. This time both legs stay relatively straight. We're going to extend those arms and start to control our lean towards the right. Try to line up my arms here. You can certainly be elbows bent again, or just rest the arm completely. And some of you might have the balance and control to take that front arm towards your right leg. 1 more breath. I know, one of the hardest poses for me. All right, maybe bend that front leg a little bit to release that left arm, and then exhale, push your way back up. All right, good job. Let's come on back to center. Make any little adjustments, maybe in that very strong, proud mountain. All right, good. Shake off a bit. We're gonna head into a balance pose. Just make sure my time here. Okay. So let's just do tree pose. I'm thinking I want to do something else, but let's do a dynamic tree pose. So your standing leg is going to be, or the weight that you're putting weight on is your right leg, chair side leg. If you're in seated, just a little bit more effort on that right leg. We're going to inhale, open up the knee, maybe extend that left arm out, and then exhale, hand to belly, knee comes back in. This feels pretty easy. You can always try to hover that right hand, maybe not holding on to it quite so firmly. If you want to maybe try this with holding on, but take the gaze out to the left as you open left. Take it back to center as you come back to center. 1 more. Let's hold it out there. And you can either hold onto the chair or position the other hand where the opposite is. Steady breath. All right, we're going to bring it on back to center. Good job. Shake out. Give those legs a little love. Let's meet in downward facing dog or child's pose if you are in seated. So you're going to place your hands on the chair or the surface that you're using and walk it back. Those with osteoporosis or osteopenia, you're just keeping a really flat back, or use a higher surface. Feet can be about hip width apart or even a little bit wider. Knees can be bent. Head doesn't go lower than your arms. Bend those knees. We're going to slowly walk forward. So if you can notice, my back stays really flat as I rise back up. Make sure your equilibrium is with you before we start to shift sides. I'm going to take the chair to the other side, or you can reposition yourself. Great. Head into warrior one. So seated or standing, that left foot is forward, right leg is back. Here we go with our dynamic warrior one. Rising up either one arm or both. Lowering down on your exhale. If you're choosing to test your balance a little bit and you're taking your gaze up, I might just recommend holding on first. Give it a try. Take your gaze down as you come back down. If that feels safe to do both, you're welcome to. Encouraged to challenge yourself, but please be safe. Two more before, or one more before we hold on the next one. Alright, last time up we hold. Soften the arms a bit. You can always remain holding on to the chair. You can even bend at the elbows. One crooked arm here. You can bend at the elbows and reach to the fingers. That's an option. Stay there. Add a mudra. Sorry, maybe you already did. One more breath. All right, lower it back down. Come back to center. Any little adjustments before we meet in that strong, proud mountain. Thighs are pressing out, arms are pressing out, shoulders are back. Left foot towards the chair. Wherever you are seated or standing, the left leg is going to be your bent one, and the right one is going to be your straight one. Bend in. I'm going to buttress that knee up towards that chair. Swing your right arm back. If it feels okay, take your left arm forward. Soften the arm. If you're gazing towards the camera, just slowly start to take your gaze out to the left if that feels attainable. We're going to start our 3 shifts forward. So like you're trying to reach towards a far shelf, but you can't get any closer. And then you come back to center. 2 more. Last one. I know those arms are feeling heavy. We get a little break here. Relax them down, straighten the front leg. Make any little adjustments. We're here for 2 more poses. We'll bend into the front knee again. And if you can, hands to hips as you start to pull the hips down and get your spine a little bit longer as you lean towards that chair. And either hand to the chair or forearm to the chair, depends on how high or low it is. Right hand to the lower left belly. Start to sweep it open up towards the right. Extending that right arm, either straight arm or bent, your choice. Reaching through the back leg, little weight through the front leg to get you a little taller. 1 more breath. Okay, bring that back arm down. Use your front hand and front leg to boost you back up. Adjustments before we head into our last pose here. All right, reaching those arms, triangle pose. The front leg stays relatively straight, but I don't want you locking it out. So if you lock out like I do, you gotta work on bending that front knee just a wee bit. All right, we'll start to control that lean towards the left. You can certainly have the elbows bent if that feels better. And for some, you might have the balance to hold on to that front thigh with that hand. Bend that elbow. 1 more breath. Okay, bend that standing leg or the front leg just a little bit as we exhale to rise back out. So step it back in. Make any little adjustments before meeting in mountain for one full breath. Tree pose, dynamic tree pose. So your left leg is going to be your grounded leg. Your right one's going to be your mover. You can toe plant the right toe, and we're going to extend, open up the knee. Right arm extends out at the same time. Come back to center, hand to belly. Feel like you want to challenge a little bit, you can start to take your gaze out to the right and then bring it back to center as you come back to center. That's easy, and you want to try to just hover your left hand rather than holding on. You're welcome to. Okay, next time out, we're going to hold, don't worry. I won't go on endlessly. You can either keep holding onto the chair or you can reach both arms away. We're here for 3, 2, 1. Bring it on back. Shake out, give those hips a little love. Mountain pose, one breath. In either downward facing dog or child's pose. Y'all been with me long enough, so you know you could do a downward dog at a higher counter too. It does not have to be low at your chair. And some of you might want to be on the very lowest part of your chair, and you might be okay with that. If you're seated, it looks more like a child's pose, or you're going to stop at your thighs. Full breath in and out. Bend those knees, we'll start to walk it up slowly, or if you're seated, slowly. Head rising at the last point. All right. Let's start to bring the chair back to center. If it's not, we'll go back to our seat if you're not ready. So, get there safely. I'm just going to go with a little bit more maybe effort here. So feet about hip width apart. Start to slowly back down. We'll grab your straps again, or bands or ties or whatever you're using. And you can always go without. Let's take the strap around. Let's go left foot. I always go right foot first. We're going to go left foot out in front. Toes are coming towards you, heel is spilling away. There's almost a sensation from that very left sit bone all the way through your heel of them kind of heading in the opposite directions. So you could stop right there. If hinging forward a little bit from your hips feels good, go for it. And take a moment to notice what's happening at your chin. Is it guiding you forward? That you're getting farther. Can you lengthen the back of the neck, taking the gaze downward. Shoulders are eased. What else could you ease? Ready? We'll start to make our ascent back up. And we'll just do a switcheroo to the other side. Great. So toes are coming towards you, heel is spilling away, and that heel is sending itself forward as your sit bone is heading back. So it's kind of an untucked tailbone. Stop at the straight up and down point. If leaning in feels good, you're welcome to. Chin will also join you in that downward position. you steady. One more breath. Slowly rise up. I'm going to go with the strap in a moment. We're going to go into our seated pigeon or for the needle. I'm just going to plop a pillow under me to get a little bit higher for this. So we'll start with the right leg, ankle over the thigh, or do the crossover version towards the floor. All right, we're going to sit up tall. That might be plenty. You can start to hinge forward if that feels okay. And again, chin drawn in. Relax your shoulders, your jaws, your eyes. Just instinctively doing some ankle circles here. You might feel that feels nice too. You're ready to ascent. We're heading on back up. You're going to either cross that leg all the way over or keep it uncrossed, your choice. Right hand goes to the right side of the chair. You're going to reach the left arm up, get a little bit of length. And then take it to the outside of your right thigh as you come into that mild rotation to the right. Just a gentle twist. Even though I'm turning to the right, my left shoulder is staying back. So I'm not just curling it forward, but actually opening it up to get some of these front neck muscles. Breathe into your left side gills. We'll be back in the center, uncross. Recross, either doing a lower version or a higher version, your choice. Sitting up tall, start to hinge forward perhaps. Gosh, every side is so different, right? Draw the chin slightly inward, and what's going on at the shoulders, the jaw. Ankle circles in on the other side. You can certainly do that here or just focus on the hip. One more breath. You're welcome to stay longer if you're ready to ascend. We're coming back up, and then you're either crossing that leg all the way over or just uncross it. Take hold of the left side of the chair, reach the right arm up so we get a little taller. And then take that hand to the outside of the left thigh this time, coming into that twist. When I say twist, it's more of a rotation. The right shoulder stays back this time, as does the left. Breathing into those right side gills. One last breath here. All right, we'll return back to center, uncross if you're not already. Perfect. We'll end with a little bit of love for ourselves before we enter into our relaxation. Here we go. Open it up, gather it all up. Wrap it around, snuggle it in tight, full breath in and out. Notice which arm is on top because you're going to switch this time. In breath, gather it all up. Out breath, cross it over, snuggle it all up, pull in and out. Good in breath. Gather it up one last time. And bring it close to your heart, just where we started. Full breath in and out. All right, we've made it for a little bit of relaxation, just a couple minutes if you care to join me. Get comfy in your seat. Again, maybe having a pillow or something under your feet to catch them. Maybe a pillow under your arms might feel nice to just snuggle in and take some weight off your shoulders and your neck. As always, I will take us through a brief guided relaxation. We'll rest for a little quiet, and you'll hear the bells chime to bring us out. Eyes can be open or closed, your choice. Whatever helps you to tune in and tune out. Let's let go of the thinking muscles, smoothing out this forehead. Space between the eyebrows gets broader and softer. Eyes are heavy. Out to the temples. Join to the jaw, releasing. Space between the teeth. Shoulders out of the ears, completely supported by the surface behind you and below you. I want you to find your anchor for when your thoughts start to rise. Your anchor being the sensation of the air flowing in and out the nostrils, or the belly rising and falling. And each time the thoughts rise, you return to that anchor. Nowhere to be, nothing to do. These time and space is yours. Breath becoming a bit more conscious. You feel the belly, the middle, the upper, and a slow, steady exhale. It's with those slower exhales that we can slow the mind, calm the nervous system. I know you're probably already moving. If you're not already, you can start some mindful movement. Maybe rolling the wrists or ankles. And curling in the fingers and toes on an inhale, and then exhale, release them. Rocking the head. Maybe a cat stretch or a dog stretch. Before we come to more upright, you can even fit a knee to chest there before you come up. Great. Finish with our mudra and gratitude. This week's mudra is Dharma Dhatu or Dhyana, so Dhyana meaning meditation. You might see this in many of the Buddhist statues. So right hand palm up, left hand palm up, flattens right onto the right one. And then the thumbs curl around to make a little archway. Very common mudra. And then you could hold it out here. I like to just rest it down. Elbows out, shoulders out of the ears, spine tall, eyes open or closed, your choice. We're going to find a breath practice, take you through. So take an exhale. Next inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. We pause at the top and breathe out 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause at the bottom and return to the breath. 4 counts in. Pause. 4 counts out. Pause. 1 more cycle. Drifting into these meditative states, so I can bring myself back. All right, let that practice go. Palms can come together for gratitude, either Namaste hands or Anjali Mudra, or one hand over your heart and the other one over that. Bowing to that place within you where you recognize gratitude. What's one more thing you'd like to be grateful for in this moment? This could be long. I hope that it is, but we'll come to an end. Offer that gratitude out beyond those walls. Thank you. Palms meet together. Hold on to that gratitude real close, at least for the rest of the day. I'll out to seal a deal. You can join me if you'd like. Slow breath in. Slow breath out. A slow breath into Om. Breathing in, breathing out, lips apart. Namaste. Spirit in me honors the spirit in each and every one of you.